what appeals to buyers way more than a cool looking appliance that won't even come with their home is an open, clean countertop to communicate that your home has space, it is clean, and it is well maintained. Hello, all right, my name is Matt Reyes, and if you come across this video, it's because you're thinking about selling your home, but not just anyway. You're thinking about selling your home for sale by owner because you're trying to avoid all the costly real estate fees, commission, and related expenses that just come along with selling your home. Now, as a licensed real estate broker, of course, I would love it if you hire me or consider a real estate agent maybe in your area. But at the same time, I completely relate to those for sale by owners because I'm thinking I could do it myself, right? If I was not a real estate agent, I would likely consider this. And because I'm thinking similar to yourself, I want to give you the best tips on presenting your home in the best way for a buyer first to see the photos online and think, I gotta walk through that home because man, that space looks bright, that space looks open, I love the backyard. And when they walk through pass through the front lawn, they get the view of your home. The first impression is immaculate. And when they walk through, they can't help but envision themselves there. And so I want to give you the best tips to present your home in that light. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to give you the best projects that maximize your ROI, return on investment. These projects are going to be low budget to maybe some that you might want to consider if your budget's a little bigger. But we're going to start out with the low budget projects that cost little to nothing, but have a very high return on the impression that it makes on a buyer. And so we're going to start with the first one is clean. You definitely want to clean your home. You definitely want to make sure that you go through, wipe down all the baseboards. You want to wipe all the switch plates, the light switches. You want to go through, potentially clean the oven. You want to make sure your fridge shows really nice. If you've gone through and you've cleaned everything, it's going to show way better. So definitely do that. And also just start putting yourself in the mindset of a buyer because you're likely waiting to sell your home so you can take your equity out and go and purchase your next property. So just clean every nook and cranny from the front of the cabinets to maybe the bottom of the baseboards. Like I said before, clean your trash can area because that can get grimy and it can get nasty. Restrooms, behind the toilet, around that space, you definitely, again, want to make sure it's clean as a whistle. You also want to consider painting. I know that may be a little bit more just involved, not necessarily cost prohibitive, but it just takes a lot of time to do that. Now you want to go to a paint store and pick some of the latest colors because you don't want to get the passion pinks or the mauves that may not communicate exactly what a broad audience wants to see in a future home that they're going to buy. Because even though painting is a low cost thing, it's just time consuming and it's laborious. So you want to avoid having to put that thought that this home is going to require work when they move in. So just go in, and if you have one of those special rooms with that special paint color that you just love, everybody might not love it. So you want to go to a paint store and get the latest colors on trend that communicate open, spacious, bright, and those are the colors you're going to want to pick. Another thing you're going to want to do and consider are replacing old light fixtures. Now, I know what you're thinking. You may have to hire an electrician to do this. Some of these are plug and go. They may not be as extensive of a repair or replacement as you might think, but just look through Home Depot. These are some of the fixtures that I've just come across, and they are not too expensive. And maybe you do know a good handyman that you can call to maybe replace some of these for $50 to $100 per fixture. It may be worth the effort. That brings in that wow factor for the powder room, bathroom, and all the places where you may have a light fixture that just looks dated and old and at the minimum dust those things. Okay, so these are some other maintenance things. You want to maintain your HVAC system. You want to go back through and make sure it's cleaned out. You want to change all those air filters. And one of the biggest things that I find just a sign of deferred maintenance are all the dusty vent systems that you have around the home. Those vent where it just blows out the air, those can get super dusty and nasty. Please, please, please dust those before you let people walk through the home because that may not show up on a photo, but buyers will see that and just think, oh, this is dirty. Because, I mean, imagine if you walked in a house and you saw those dusty air vents. I mean, it makes me want to go through and check my air vents right now. But I will do that after this video. So you want to, again, change out filters, make sure those things are clean. You also want to likely ensure that you maybe present the last time it was maintained in a separate book. along with potentially pest control services that you do have maintained. And if you do have your home maintained by a pest service, you want to maybe show that again in a log of things that you've done and presented with your home. That goes into the next thing of maintenance, which if you have a septic system, you want to ensure that that has been pumped recently. So overall, really the idea I'm getting at here is communicating that your home has been cleaned and it's been well maintained. The last thing a buyer wants to assume or get the impression of is when they're going to make an offer or potentially think about moving into this home, that there's just a lot of work required. Even when it comes to cleaning or just maintenance, regular maintenance issues, they don't want to have that impression put upon them. If they buy this home, it comes with work. Most buyers definitely don't want that. And if they do assume it comes with work, they're not going to pay market price. They're going to want a discount on your property. And the last thing you want is people thinking that your home needs to be discounted. Okay, so the next thing I want to tell you about is make sure that your home has the best curb appeal possible. You want to go through and you want to cut the bushes, you want to cut the grass, you also want to trim around the edges between the sidewalks and driveway. Just make sure it's well maintained, it's well curated. You want to put some fresh mulch. Maybe you want to power wash the driveway and the sidewalk and maybe your front little porch if you have one. Take out the cobwebs or in the little dirt daubers where they go and they stick all their mud around the corners. Clean the eaves, clean out the gutters. All those items around your home make the biggest deal. Maybe even you want to paint, remove some dirty, just maybe even rotted wood that you have, around the eaves of your home. That again can make a huge impression on a buyer when they're walking through your property. You may be thinking, who's going to notice that? But if you have a well-trained agent walking through with their client through your property, they're going to notice those things and they're going to point them out on behalf of their client who's going to potentially present an offer to you. So these are the things you need to look out for. And if you need help, you may want to hire maybe an exterior landscaper or somebody to go and conduct that for you. I do it for my clients to guide them through. Sometimes they have the money for those projects and sometimes they don't, which we factor that into potential concessions or maybe even price adjustments, because exterior wood replacement can get expensive. And especially if you don't have the money to repaint the exterior of your home, it may be something you likely want to consider as a concession. But at a minimum, most people can maybe garden over the weekend to improve the landscaping of their property to just make it show ready and beautiful and welcoming when a buyer walks through their property. And again, when it comes to the exterior, I wanted to mention, make sure you repair any fence areas. And I know sometimes fences are hard to really go in and repair because you may share that with a neighbor. Potentially even restain a deck. If you have a back deck in your backyard, you want to restain that. Maybe you go through and all the in between the concretes, those joints, maybe you put some caulking. There's special caulk that goes in between the joints of concrete, and that can make a world of difference just presenting it well. You also want to remove any weeds. If you have that full of weeds that just doesn't look well, you want to make sure you take that out, remove those weeds from the cracks of the concrete. Again, it just shows way better. Some other things to do that I didn't get to mention when it comes to the interior are you want to make sure you clean your carpet. You want to clean your carpet, shampoo your carpet. It also gives it a more fresh smell. And if you can go that next level up, I would replace the carpet altogether and put some laminate, engineered wood, maybe even some tile, whatever is within your budget, opt for that. Okay, so the ideas that I've shared with you today, I know I kind of went through them, bullet point style and just kind of threw a lot of them at you. And I hope you explore doing any or some of these. And I know some of these are things that you already know about. An easy one is making sure you declutter your entire home. And I know you think you may have decluttered, but there's a lot of these little tchotchkes or these little knickknacks that are hanging on these little shelves. I would strongly consider removing the vast majority of those from your home. If you're planning on moving out, just go ahead and start packing those up, putting them in a box, put them in a garage, put them in a closet, and just keep those away. You want surfaces to appear as clean. In the kitchen, in the countertop area, take out the stove, the little toasters, countertop appliances. You want to get those out of view as much as possible. Just get your countertops appearing open, clean. I know what you're thinking. It looks nice. These are nice appliances, but no. What appeals to buyers way more than a cool looking appliance that won't even come with their home is an open, clean countertop. Again, I know it's hard to live that way for a season, but if you can do it for a season, it'll make a difference. And I know what I'm telling you. Declutter your closets even, because buyers will open that and they'll see if it's stuffed with towels just forced in and nothing really looking like it has a place. Then buyers are going to think that this property likely doesn't have enough storage space. And so if you take the time to organize, even just declutter your life and maybe take some of those old towels or old blankets that you really don't need or whatever is clogging up that closet, maybe you just get rid of it now and begin that moving process already, because again, it will make a difference. I know what I'm telling you, and I know I'm repeating myself, but that is the point of this, to communicate that your home has space, it is clean, and it is well maintained. And so if you've got the point of any of this, or let's say you need some help walking through your property, if you live in the greater Houston area, maybe even in San Antonio, I would be happy to help you maybe walk through your home and just give you this bullet point style specific to your home and whatever you need in terms of ensuring that your home is going to present and show well, ready for photography, ready for video, maybe even a drone shot or two. You need to make sure that your home is just ready for that first impression to convince buyers that it's their next property to grow their next or start their next chapter with their family. I hope these tips were valuable to you. If they were, please let me know in the comments which is your favorite one. If I forgot a tip, please let me know in the comments. I greatly appreciate your time. Y'all have a blessed one. Talk to y'all soon.